Hi guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry. And today I'm going to do a little chat about the differences from clear gel to pectin. I get asked probably 5 times a day minimum, especially this time of year. For many of you, this is the beginning or the start of canning season as your garden starts to give you a harvest. And for me, I'm a canner all year round because that's how I stock my pantry. And I've told you guys that before. And I keep getting asked the same question about clear gel and its uses. And so I want to try to cover some of this today for you because I think it's important. And what I use it for, there's not that much information on how to use this out there. When you buy this, there's no instructions with it. There are certain recipes, like in the Amish canning cookbook. That book has you use clear gel. There's some other recipes that call for clear gel, and they'll also say if you don't have that, you can use cornstarch. So this is a modified cornstarch. And it's modified enough to be shelf stable and stay thick after it's been canned. Normal cornstarch that you get in the grocery store, that you thicken sauces or gravies with, that once you've canned it, it can separate or become runny again. It's not stable enough. And so that's why we use the modified food starch in our canning, like for instance, canning pie filling. Now I canned this yesterday and it wasn't quite a jar. My canner was full and it wasn't quite a jar. And that right there, that's what you call a false seal, because I did not process this and it sealed anyways, just because of the temperature change from warm in the jar to cold in the refrigerator. So that's another thing I want to cover in this video, false seals. And trusting the lid only it can be very dangerous, because if you've ever opened a brand new box of ball jars or Kerr or any canning jars, and you go to take the band off to wash your jars, the brand new lids have already sealed and pop, they pop on you. That's a false seal. That happens with temperature change. That can also happen in your pantry. So you have to be careful. That's why we don't store in our pantry, we don't store with the rings on, because you can get that false seal. Now, this jar of jelly is going with me to work tomorrow. That's the only reason there's a ring on it. Otherwise, I would leave it without the ring. So this pie filling is nice and thick. You can see how thick that is. It's not gonna pour out. I mean, it's done. And that's exactly how the other pie filling, and this is rhubarb pie filling. I'm gonna have to make a dessert tonight because my husband was very disappointed I didn't do that last night. So even after I cook this, let's say I make a miniature pie for him or some kind of crumble, it is still gonna stay just like this. If you used cornstarch, it would not stay, 9 times out of 10, it would not stay like that, and you would have to thicken it anyway. So that is why we use the clear gel. It's a great product to have on hand. I buy it in bulk from Amazon, and I will leave you a link to where I get it. It's very reasonably priced, and I buy 2-pound bags of it at I usually end up buying 3 or 4 at a time, just so I have it so I don't run out. Because most recipes, you're gonna use a couple cups at a time, and that can go pretty quickly when you've got a 2-pound bag, or I'm not sure. Yeah, this one was 2.5. It's not gonna taste the same, and this leaves the fruit a little more pure, even though this has a little bit of a taste to it. And if you're taste sensitive, some people do not like jams and jellies with pectin in it. I am okay with it. Now, if I see that I'm not getting as much thickness as I want, I have actually added a little bit of this, but I don't do that on a regular basis. I stick with the pectin and the fruit and make my jams and jellies. And so I truly hope that this inspires you to go ahead and get yourself some clear gel. If you're going to do pie fillings this summer with all the berries coming into season and the fruit off of our fruit trees, it's a great way to preserve the harvest and put it back. In the middle of winter, you can pull out a jar, make a beautiful dump cake with a jar of your pie filling, a trifle, a tart, a pie, all kinds of things. Muffins, you can put this in a muffin mix, and actually I make some, they look a lot like cinnamon rolls, so they're swirled, but they're a rhubarb roll, and it's a sweetbread with this instead of where you would put your cinnamon and raisins, and it's delicious. If you'd like to see that recipe, go ahead and leave me a comment in the comment section, and don't forget to check all the links. I've got my Facebook page. I also have my Zaycon Fresh link down there for you. It doesn't cost you a dime. Go over there and sign up for free and get notified when they have an event in your area where you can save a lot of money on bulk meats. And pretty much that's where I buy my meats now. I know where they come from. I can get grass-fed ground beef. I can get USDA choice beef if I want. Some of the best chicken. And know that it's very fresh. The chicken breast is awesome. So you can go check that out. And I do want to get back to, you can do liquid pectin, and now we have powdered pectin. And you can even buy this online in bigger bulk than what Ball gives you. They're used a little bit differently, so you do want to follow the directions on how you use it. With the powdered pectin, you put that in first with the fruit and all that, and with the liquid pectin, it is at the end of the process. And so, and you can see this jam is just as thick as this, and that's just from pectin, and that's from clear gel. So guys, I hope it answered some questions for you. I can't wait to see you next time for another delicious recipe, gardening video. Oh my gosh, we have worked so hard out there this summer to, honestly, it's not just to prepare for this year. We've got fall gardens going to be going in here in a couple of weeks. I've got all my seeds started. But for next year we're going to have double the garden space. And I will be able to bring in more variety and maybe even, you know, double what we do as far as what we need to put back in the pantry. Because I try not to buy certain products in the store just because, like tomatoes. I have to buy tinned tomatoes once in a while, but for the most part, I'd love it if they were all out of my garden or farmer's market, because I only want to see them in glass. I don't think that they're as tasty. They taste very metallic to me in a tin can. So that being said, we're going to see you next time. All right, guys.